lost in my mind. You'll never be satisfied. Blame the divine. Eventually they'll find the time. And what if I believe you? Or what if I believe you? What if I go on, give it your all tonight. You can say anything you like. I'm not your savior, so far away. Blinded by anger, you forgot who to blame. I'll never be your lighthouse in the dust. If I had my way, I'd guide you to the rocks. Go on, give it your all tonight. You can say anything you like. You can say anything you like. Go and give it your all. You can say anything you like. Go and give it your all. What if I believed you? What if I could? Go on, give it your all tonight. You can say anything you like. I'm not your savior, so far away. Blinded by anger, you forgot who to blame. I'll never be your lighthouse in the dust. If I had my way, I'd guide you to the rocks. Go on, give it your all tonight. You can say anything you like. Go on, give it your all tonight. Oh. Welcome back to WestKillville_TV, getting ready to rock and roll with the National Dirt Racing Association. Pro Dirt late model action here at the dirt track at Charlotte. Here's going to be the starting grid lineup for heat race number 1. Josh Fuller, the number 12 machine. He'll be starting on that top spot with Dylan Hutchinson. There to the outside. Ethan will be starting up the second row with Logan to the outside. Brian P5, Lucas Ruark P6, Noah 7th, and give that to Jace, rounding out that last and final spot here in heat race number 1. A little bit of race info up there on your race screen now. The dirt track of Charlotte, track length 0.39 miles is the track length. 8-lap heat races. Top 4 drivers will advance straight out of this. We will have a B main show, but then we'll all run for all the marbles for a 50-lap Mac Daddy show. 27 drivers have entered in tonight's race. Stacked up, packed up, wheel-to-wheel. Door-to-door, green flag is out. We're going to shimmy a shive down in the turn. And number one guy already getting loose. One guy barrel rolling, and everybody has wrecked. There was 5 cars in that. The yellow flag is going to wave. And the caution is going to wave before we even get down the backstretch. Here in heat race number 1. Big time trouble already. Logan was in that. Lucas Ruark was in that as well. Here's a replay.
Pulling it up. Here we go. I think one guy just got a little bit too sideways here. One more time. Check this action out. Yeah, 28 just got into the corner, got a little loose. Man, the 7 car definitely got the short end of the stick on that one. 14 machine had to jump over that car. So back to line mode, back to race mode we go. Josh Fuller is going to be a race leader. Ethan to the outside of him. Brian is going to be P3. Then Noah Blake rounding out that 4th spot, rounding out the top 5. Give that to Lucas Ruart. As a pace truck leaves the cars all by themselves out there in the middle of the backstretch, slowly entering in turn 3. Josh Fuller, our race starter. Green flag back out. Everybody trying to tiptoe around turns 1 and 2 this time. I say tiptoe. Now we're 3 wide down the backstretch with these 3 drivers. A 57 of Brian. There's Noah Blake down there to the bottom side. As everyone comes across the line this time by. Josh Fuller still our race leader, but action is on here for the 3rd spot. Brian Warner has it there in the number 57 machine. The all black car, that is going to be, or the all red car, that's going to be Lucas Ruart. Noah Blake almost hits the outside wall. Back up front as we check up on board with our race leader. It's all the number 12 car right now. Halfway home the mama this time by, setting the fastest lap time as well. There it is, a 15.833. And that goes to Ethan, the guy that's running back in P2. Track is all carried over from a 30-minute practice session, so this track is already getting worn in quite nicely. Everybody kind of single filed out right now. Dylan may have just tapped the wall there in turns 1 and 2. Lucas Ruart there in the hot seat right now. Last driver getting transferred into the A main show. And now we may have a battle for the race lead. White flag in the flagman's hand. Is he going to wave it? Yes, he does. White flag one more time around the dirt track as Charlotte Fuller trying to hold off Ethan. Ethan trying to thread the needle to the outside. He just taps the outside wall for the final time into turns 3 and 4. Josh trying to hold on to it. Ethan trying to stick that dirt late model down to the inside. Does not work. The number 12 machine bringing home the W here for his heat race. And he's starting off his night quite well. It'll be starting there in the top spot there for the 50-lap A-main show. Getting ready to rock and roll with heat race number 2. This is how these guys are going to line up. James Miller, he'll be the top spot with Robert Tucker there to the outside. You have Brandon there in P3, Jared in P4, Ben Lewis, then Rylan Gray rounding out that 3rd row. 4th row gave that to Nick Bum with Ace Motorsports, the 02 machine. And then you have James, a 661 car, driver out of Carolina, rounding out that 8th spot here at the dirt track of Charlotte here on this Halloween trick-or-treat type of night. And no better way to kick it off this Halloween night with some dirt late models and a big-time wreck there in turn 1. Lights on the pace truck is off this time by. We'll be going green flag this time by. 8 laps is a total distance. 8 cars out there on the raceway. Top 4 will advance. James Miller, Robert Tucker, front row. Waiting to hit the loud pedal. James hits the loud pedal. Robert tries to match it, and here we go. Jimmy Scheinman down in the turns number 1 and 2. The number 30 machine all the way down to the inside. Trading Paints is not really matching up with the scoring tower, but that's going to be Brandon there in the all-green car. As they try to come off a turn number 3 and 4 now. Wheeling and dealing side by side for the third row. But it's all James Miller as of right now. Robert Tucker still trying to hold on there to the outside there for P2. But man, Brandon really diving that car down to the inside, almost hitting the tractor tires once again, riding the middle side down these straightaways. Then you have Jared back here in P4. You have Nick Baum right there behind him. Inside the cockpit mode now of the O2 car. Action getting close, almost a little bit of a bumper there. He's going to try to get out of his way now. Nick's going to try to ride the high side. He taps the outside wall, trades some paint with the outside wall. He's going to get passed by Ryland Gray now. Remember, top 4 drivers advance. Slide job back for Nick Baum in the 06 car. Ryland Gray outside looking in. Working lap 5 of 8, 1 minute and 20 seconds here in this heat race. Down in turns 1 and 2, Ryland almost tries to throw the slide job. He had to check out of it, or else he was absolutely going to door that O2 car. Back up front, though, it's on James Miller, the number 6 car, the 22 car. 2 laps to go, but here comes Brandon down to the bottom side. Brandon had a good run down, or coming off at turn 2 as they wheel and deal down into turns 3 and 4, and a late race lead change. Brandon's going to capture that lap. Nose to tail for the top for 1-2. Gives a little tap to the back bumper of the 33rd car. Brandon gets up into the outside wall. He gets glued to it. James Miller with the slide job up there to the top spot. Give it back to the checker flag for James Miller and Brandon. I don't know if he'll put that in his memory bank or not, but James Miller and Brandon, a little bit of contact coming out of turn 2. Jared is going to capture that last and final transfer spot there for heat race number 2. 5th spot's going to be Ryland Gray. Heat race number 3. Here's going to be the starting lineup here for heat race number 3. This should be our last heat race as well. So 3 heat races for tonight here. The dirt track at Charlotte Lane. The number 61 machine, he'll be starting up there in the top spot with Alan Davis Jr. there to the outside, driving out of Indiana. Matt Grimm, the number 91, drive out of Ohio. He'll be starting up in the inside of the second row with Brandon Weeks with Ace Motorsports, the 022 car. Always like covering that driver. He'll be starting there in P4. Jacob Anderson, he'll be starting in P5. Colson, 6. Jonathan, starting up in that 7th spot. Then Peyton Anderson, the number 24 car, rounding out that 8th and final spot, and got a little bit of work to do back there in that 8th spot. Stack them up and pack them up. About to go green flag racing this time by. Lane's going to be a race starter there in the number 61. Slow time to restart. Brennan Weeks to the outside. Green flag is out. They step on the loud pedal, and we're off to the races. Lane's going to try to lead this lap number 1, and he does. Brennan Weeks already moving up 2 spots. He's trying to rip the lip there in turns 1 and 2. Lane gets a little loose. Here comes Brennan Weeks now in that 022 machine. Matt Grimm down to the inside in the all black and green car. Jacob Anderson on the hot seat. Colson outside looking in. Peyton Anderson outside looking in. Peyton needs to pass 2 drivers. Jonathan Byram and Alan Davis Jr. out of this race. But back up front we go. We got a 3-car race. Throw a blanket over the top 3 lane. Is still trying to hold him off, and he's doing a very good job of it. But these two guys, so Brennan Weeks and Matt Grimm, trying to figure out a way around him. Door to door, 61 Machine Lane, and Brennan Weeks there to the inside. Good run down the backstretch, inside the cockpit mode now of Weeks as he looks down to the bottom side, working lap 5 of 8, making lap 6 of 8 now. So those guys nose to tail around turns 1 and 2. Best lap time out there on the racetrack is up there on your screen now. Matt Grimm does have it with a 15.982. Colson gotten around Peyton Anderson. Got around, really, I think Jacob Anderson. For that last and final transfer spot, Peyton got around him. Now Colson sits in that last and final transfer spot, trying to reel in these guys, but the white flag is going to wave one more time around the dirt track at Charlotte in lane. Trying to hold on to this race lead, Brennan Weeks. Right there behind him, Matt Grimm a little bit too far back, but here comes Brennan Weeks. He's going to slide it in hard, make a little bit of contact, swap a little paint, come out of turn 4 by the number 61 machine. He's going to hold on in a very good drive by the number 61 car to capture that heat race win. What a race that was. I apologize. There is going to be 4 heat races. There's going to be the starting grid for this last and final heat race. Joshua, driver out of the humid state of Florida, the number 11 car. He'll be starting on that top spot with Carson Ruark there to the outside. You have Dylan Perry, the number 7 car. He'll be starting there in P3. And Courtney Newby, the number 27 machine, will be starting on the outside of the second row. Starting up there in the third row is going to be Cameron, and then Jeremiah Johnson, P6, Michael 7th, and Stephen Brady starting up in that last and final transfer spot. Only 5 cars are going to make this start here for the heat race number 4. Courtney, Michael, and Steven not going to make the race start. Lights on the pace truck is off. Will be green flag racing this time by. Number 11 machine of Joshua's going to be a race starter. He loads up that right rear tire, hits the loud pedal. We're off to the races here for the last and final heat race. And look at Dylan Perry stuffing that thing down to the inside there in the number 7 car. Perry trying to get the lead quite early from the second row down in turns 3 and 4 now. Joshua going to hold it up on the high side. Dylan Perry being dedicated down to the bottom side, and that bottom side looking quite nice here. Dylan Perry swapping for the race lead. He grabs it coming out of turn 4 now. So now giving the race leader a new race leader there for that number 7 car. Check on board the last and final heat race of Cameron Ritter and Jeremiah Johnson. They make contact. The 22 machine up into the outside wall. That's Cameron Ritter. Jeremiah Johnson might have just put him there. Don't believe it was intentional. Just a little bit of contact. And 17 car of Jeremiah Johnson trying to hold on to that thing. So outside shot, looking in now. Everybody just single filed out here. And it's all Dylan Perry as of right now. Heat race number 4. Fast lap time up there on your race screen. A 15.874. is the fastest lap time. With 2 laps to go, everybody just all single filed out. Cameron Ritter taps the outside wall. He gets glued to it. Jeremiah Johnson going to try to pass him and just completely takes him out. They're on the white flag. That was kind of uncalled for, but it is what it is, I guess. As we watch these two guys once again. And he's going to catch up to him. Now what will happen? Going to take him out some more. These guys on the very far back of the track. Now he goes ramping over the tractor tires, and that's not very good. As a checkered flag is going to wave for Dylan Perry. A very quiet heat race for that driver, but he did move up 2 spots on the number 7 car. So Dylan Perry, your race winner. Great here for the C-Main here at the dirt track of Charlotte. Dylan Hutchins, the number 18 car, he'll be starting in the top spot with Peyton Anderson to the outside. Noah Blake will be starting up in the inside of the second row with Jacob Anderson there to the outside. Logan Rumney, the 21 machine driver out of Carolina, will be starting up in the third row with Alan Davis Jr. there to the outside. An Indiana driver, Jace Anderson, driver from the north, the west, the number 3 machine. Starting up in that last row with Jonathan Byram there to the outside as well, rounding out that last and final eighth spot. Six laps is the distance, only 5 cars out there on the raceway. 2 drivers will go straight to the A main. We will not have the alphabet soup here tonight, so just the top 2 drivers get a ticket, get the golden ticket to start on the tail end of the A main. So here we go. Stacked up, packed up, 5 cars. All you got to do is beat 3 of them. Dylan Hutchins, Peyton Anderson, front row. How will that all work out? Side by side, wheel to wheel. Green flag racing this time by. Noah Blake, third row. Jacob Anderson, second row as well. And here we go. Outside row did not go. Peyton Anderson did not get a good start whatsoever. Hit the loud pedal, almost lost the back end. Noah Blake captured P2 as they went in down in turns 1 and 2. And a 31 machine just sends it in deep, takes out the 43 car. You have to get when the getting is good. And Peyton Anderson, the driver that's on the outside, the front row. Bad luck for him. They're on lap number 1 here for the C-Main. So Jacob Anderson is here in this last and final transfer spot with Noah Blake trying to breathe down his neck, trying to figure out a way around him. Only 6 laps, a very short heat race. It's all Dylan Hutchins out front though, minding his own business. Outside shot of the raceway. Noah Blake trying to figure out something here. Last lap time up there on your screen this time by. Almost sends it in a little too hard. Logan Rumsey. Now Jacob Anderson gets all sorts of swip swaps crisped up. Went all the way up next to the racetrack, and here comes Noah Blake once again. And Jacob Anderson just taps the outside wall. 3-car race, all for 1 spot. The 7 machine of Logan Rumney is going to give him a little bit of a tap, a little bit of a paint swap there. Side by side coming across the line. Whoever gets this second spot will advance, and their 9 will keep on going. And Logan driving very aggressively. Now here comes Noah Blake, going to try to send it in hard. He does. He slides up the racetrack. Here he comes. They're going to take each other out coming across the race line. And Logan Rumney is going to capture that last and final transfer spot. And that number 12 machine, and Noah Blake not very happy with that type of driving. But goodness gracious, that was pretty exciting from the viewer standpoint. That's tough, man. 6 laps and only 2 cars will advance. That's tough for sure. B main is up. Rylan Gray, the 06 machine. Driver out of Indiana, and the EF Cameron Ritter there to the outside. Robert Tucker and Courtney Newby They're in that third and fourth spot. Ben Lewis, Michael, then you have James, and you have Steven. Rounding out the rest of the race field, going to be the exact same thing. Only 2 drivers will advance out of this with only 6 laps here at the dirt track at Charlotte, so hold on, boys. After this, a 50-lap A-main show. A lot of it aggressive driving that we have seen here. Only 4 cars. Only 4 cars. All you got to do is beat 2 of them to advance in. Courtney, Ben, Michael, and Steven not making the race start, did not get the call to the starting line. So the 06 of Rylan Gray, then you have Cameron there to the outside. Both of those drivers are pretty quick drivers. Man, then you got Robert Tucker, north of a 4,000 I rating. They're in that number 5 car. He'll be starting there in the 3rd spot. Then you have James to the outside of him. Stacked up, packed up. Here we go. Green flag out. Rylan Gray, race starter. Here we go. Top 2. Rylan Gray slide, jump next to the race cushion. Almost 3 wide, almost the 66 car. He gets spun around. So James Frazier might be out of this race, so now it's only a 3-car race. All you got to do is just beat 1 driver. Rylan Gray, slide job up to the middle side, but right now it's all Cameron Ritter next to the outside wall, letting those RPMs just get all sorts of wounded up. But Rylan Gray trying to do the exact same thing. You have Robert Tucker down to the bottom side now there in turns 1 and 2 as these 3 drivers wheel and deal. Robert Tucker may have got a little bit tight down there. Still side by side down the back chute. And now inside the cockpit mode. Best lap time out there on the raceway is a 16.109. Robert Tucker is P2. Then Rylan Gray rounding out this last, this 3rd spot. Top 2 drivers will advance right now. Robert Tucker has it. Cameron Ritter, though, doing a very good job. Can he hold back the pressure? And oh my goodness, Tucker sent it in deep and had to get hard on the brakes. Was about to just absolutely clobber the race leader one more time around the dirt track at Charlotte. For the final time, out of turn 2 and down the backstretch. They lean on each other. 2 drivers advance in. Riley Gray gives it a last-ditch effort. No luck for him. Robert Tucker and Cameron Ritter come across a race line, and man, I really hope this stuff does not transfer over there to the A-main. As warm-up is underway now. Only a quick 2-minute warm-up session. Then the checker flag will wave. Best lap time than last lap time. Be up there on your screen this time. A lot of tough driving all the way through the heat races. A lot of intentionally wrecking in some cases. The C main and the B main, that was some pretty tough racing as well. The C main was all right though. I think, or was that with the intentional wrecking part? The B main kind of went somewhat smooth to the last laps there. But everyone getting out there on the racetrack, remember only a 2-minute warm-up session, so roughly 25 seconds left. Green flag racing. Here from the National Dirt Racing Association, the NDRA. If you guys like to join this action, they're trying to catch up to 40 cars right now. There are only 27 cars have entered, and I'd say only, but that's a lot of cars. 27 of them. Pro Dirt late model action. Go check them out on Facebook if you guys would like to join this, join all this action. 50 lap A-Main show about to come about here. So checker flag waves. Track is being carried over from a 30-minute practice session all the way through heat race 1 through 4, the C main and the B main. So track is going to get quite slicked if it's not already. Outside shot of the raceway right here. 50 lap A main show about to come about. 20 drivers are going to be making the restart here. A lot of green flag racing is hopefully to come on this Halloween night. What type of spooky stuff will happen for the National Dirt Racing Association? I don't know. We'll find out. I was trying to make that work. I was trying to throw in that Halloween part, type of that spooky stuff, but I don't know if that segue actually really worked out or not. Here's going to be the starting grid for tonight's 50 lap A main. 20 drivers making the race start. Here we go with the grid. Josh Fuller, the number 12 machine, had a very fast night, has been having a very fast night here. Qualified on pole, won his heat race quite easily. Number 12 machine, top spot. James Miller there to the outside. Elaine will be starting on the inside of the second row with Dylan to the outside. Ethan will be starting on the inside of the third row with Brandon rounding out that sixth spot. Brendan Weeks looked extremely strong in that 022 car there in his heat race. Ace Motorsports driver, he'll be starting in seventh place. And Joshua, the number 11 car and driver out of Florida, he'll be starting in P8. Brian Warner Jr. with Warner Racing, number 57 machine, rounding out the ninth spot. Nick Baum with Ace Motorsports, he'll be rounding out the top 10. You have Matt Groom and Carson Ruark, 11th and 12th spot. On down the list we go. With the 13th spot is Lucas Ruark and Jared Campos with 43. You have Colson and Jeremiah. You have Dylan and Robert Logan, and then Cameron Ritter rounding out the race field for this 50-lap A-Main show here at the dirt track at Charlotte with some Pro Dirt late models here from the National Dirt Racing Association. Green flag. Everybody tiptoeing around turns 1 and 2. One guy already getting spun out, so we will have a caution flag. Caution is out before we even get out at turn number 2 in the apex of turns 1 and 2. Jared got spun right around there in the number 43 machine. Early caution here for the National Dirt Racing Association. These guys have gone green to green multiple times here. Racing has been quite tense though. Stackman repack them. Josh Fuller, James Miller, and really nobody made any pass. Right now it says Joshua made one pass from 8th to 7th. So that's the only pass. Nick Baum looks like he hasn't made a pass either. So early caution on this Halloween night. Pace light, or the lights on the pace truck will be off this time by, so restack them and repack them. Let's re-rack them up, give it another shot. Caution laps will not count here tonight here at the dirt track at Charlotte. But we will have a true 50-lap A-Main show. E-race number 1, though. Track was still a little tacky. I know they ran a 30-minute practice session to break in this track, but, man, I guess you did have a quick 2-minute practice session or a warm-up session before the A-Main show. Back on a green flag. Outside shot, everybody Trying to jockey all for position. 3 wide. Everybody on everybody's quarter panel. One guy spinning out. Another caution flag has gone away very early on for the second time. Only on here on lap number 3. One guy getting spun into the apex in turns 3 and 4 there. That's Matt Grimm being shown red. Actually, a lot of guys are being shown red. Matt Grimm, Robert Tucker both show on red, so we'll see what happened to these two guys. Just get a little up tap by the 14 machine, and then the 17 had absolutely nowhere to go, trying to stay off him. You hit the brakes quite hard, but the number 91 machine and Matt Grimm stuck that nose straight up to the sky. So that's what caused that second caution. Lights on the pace shark are still on. They will be off this time by whenever he comes across the line. Only 20 drivers making the A-main show out of 27. Door-to-door, wheel-to-wing. Door-to-door, wheel-to-wheel. Josh Fuller, a race starter once again, green flag out. Three wide action, one guy up into the outside wall. He bicycles it. Everybody trying to avoid him. Everybody does a very good job of doing so. So green flag still out, but man, Brennan Weeks up into the top 5, hits the outside wall, does a great job at keeping that machine up there. Went from about the top 5 down to last spot. They're in the 20th spot. Now look at this, racing back here. Everybody jockeying for position. Track is slicked up, not much grip whatsoever. Dust is flying. It's not full-time daytime racing here either. So the track lights are off right now. Don't know if they will be able to come on before the Mac Daddy show is over. But checking on board with our race leader, we have a 3-car race, all for the race lead. Josh Fuller, still our race leader. James Miller trying to wind that thing up there to the outside. Here comes Miller now. They're on the top shelf, side by side with the race leader of Fuller. But then you have Dylan Perry down to the bottom side. Perry started it back in P4. He has made one pass. That's about it. Has that thing down to the inside tractor tires and doing a very good job in that Pro Dur late model. Chit Bangers Racing. Back and forth spot's going to be Lane. Josh was running out the top 5. Brandon 6. Nick Bum 7th. Logan Romney. Dylan Hutchins. And then Colson all rounding out the top 10. Best lap time out there on the raceway with 40 laps still to go is going to be Ethan back there in the 14th spot. Lost 9 spots since the green flag is waved, but does have the fastest lap time with a 16.204, trying to test out that top shelf now. We still have a very good lead. Or a very good battle for the race lead. Josh Fuller working the middle side part of the racetrack. Doesn't like the high side and doesn't like the bottom side, so he just decides he's just going to run right smack through the middle side here. You have Dylan Perry still down to the inside, carrying that left front tire all the way across the bottom side, and the yellow flag is going to wave now for the 3rd time. Jeremiah, Brian Warner Jr., Cameron Ritter might have all been in that crash. Bobby the flagman throwing out the yellow flag for the third time. Had about a 10 green flag run there. This is maybe what happened. Cameron Ritter being shown red. Yep, hits the tires, and that's about it. Does a good old 180, backs it down into the inside, gets that thing up and going once again. Bobby the flagman holding that yellow flag very high. Hard charge as of right now, Logan Rumney. Moving up 10 spots. He has cracked the top 10, starting there in the 9th spot. 9th to 10th spot, but yeah, moving up 10 spots. In that number 7 car. And plenty of speed for Mr. Logan. And plenty of laps still to go. Only lap 13 of 50. 8 minutes and 35 seconds into the show. And what we'll do is we'll go right on board with the hard charger. Green flag back out. Man, beating and banging all there in front of him. He gets tapped into the back bumper. They all crash, all from the driver's point of view of Logan Rumney, the driver that was our hard charger. His rear end is completely tore up. He'll have to grab a tow. And we may be just some jinx at number 7 car. And look how bad that back end is. His 9 may be done. Trying to get to pit road. Can he do it though? Crab walking pit road. He might be able to do it. Some iRacing update for you. So big time crash happened. I still like this though. So will he be able to get into his pit stall? I don't think he is. He's still trying to get into his pit stall. Does a 360, put that sucker in reverse, man. And right now, he's just going to grab a tow, and his night's going to be, he'll have to sit there for a couple minutes. But back on to the racing action. We'll see what happened to him. I think a big stack up right there in front of the number 7 car. Camera angle kind of changed on us. Josh Fuller's led every single lap so far, from lap 1 to lap 15. Does anybody have anything to say for that number 7, or sorry, that number 12 machine? Dylan Perry extremely fast, been all over that back bumper. Just have not found a way around him. Same thing with James Miller back there. Nick Bumma's back up into the mix now too, though. The O2 machine with Ace Motorsports, slowly crawling up into it. Trying to rip the lip around turns 1 and 2. Nick Baum showing some speed here in the middle part of the race. 22 machine of James Miller. You have Brandon rounding out the top 5 lane and back there in the 6th spot. Side by side now. For the race lead, Dylan Perry trying to capture it. Trying to get around Josh Fuller, and he does. So a new race leader here for the A-Main show for the National Dirt Racing Association. That's going to be Dylan Perry. Does have a lap car there in front of him. Don't know who that is. Don't know who that is there in front of him, but the caution flag is going to wave. That's a 43 machine at Jared Campos. So he gets saved by going another lap down. Sorry, he is not a lap down. He's still on the lead lap. So now the 5th caution is waved here in 20 laps. Still 30 laps to go. Everybody just fighting for the same real estate. Don't know exactly what happened to Robert Tucker here, though. I don't know if it was netcode or what that was. But we will find out. Watch his hands here. Yeah, I don't know what happened. His hands were completely turned right, and that machine of his just turned left. Don't know if that was netcode there in the quarter panel or not, but exactly 30 laps to go when we go back under green flag racing conditions. We're 13 minutes and 31 seconds here in the A-Main show. Single file restart now. New race leader, that's going to be Dylan Perry. What type of speed does Josh Fuller still have? You have Nick Baum there in the 3rd spot, just kind of lurking, having a quiet night there. See if Nick can go up there and mix it up a little bit. Single file restart. This can be good or this can be bad. Green flag out. Nick trying to throw the slider. He's going to lose all sorts of momentum, though, so he falls back to P3. Josh Fuller going to recapture the 2nd spot. The dust is still flying. The sun is still up here at the dirt track of Charlotte. And our new race leader, Dylan Perry, pulling the gap now there in turns 1 and 2. Good battle for P2, though. Nick Baum tries to get around, and he throws a slide job on Josh Fuller. He's going to complete it, so a new runner-up position of the O2 car, Nick Baum. Josh Fuller slowly starting to fall back now. Check this action out back here. 3 wide. Hold on to it, kids. The 11 machine trying to keep it off the 22 machine. That's Brendan Weeks trying to get back up into the mix. Still making contact. Swift swapping paint now. Josh kind of getting beat around like a ping pong ball with Brendan Weeks right there in front of him. Weeks is going to try to run the high side now. James Miller in that number 6 car right there in front of him. That's Lane there in the 61. So as green flag still waves, everybody kind of jockeying all for position. Colson has moved up 10 spots there in the Mac Daddy show there in the number 23 machine. Really quiet night for that driver, rounding out the top 5 as we're halfway home to mama this time by. A little bit of a slip of a grip coming out of turn 2. Now here comes James Miller down to the bottom side of Colson. Had to hit the brakes quite hard. One guy blinking in and out there in the middle part of the pack. And now it is starting to be slide job city here. So we jump on board with Lucas Ruart. Ruart gets tapped up into the outside wall. Kind of gets glued to it. It is racing action all the way around him, though. Elbows out racing here for the National Dirt Racing Association. Halfway, we are over halfway in. 5 cautions have weighed. Track is completely slicked up from the 30-minute practice session. Carried it over all the way through the 4 heat races, the C main and the B main. So track is very slick. Slide job city here now. As Joshua right there in front of him throws a slide job, parks it right on the front nose of the 61 machine of Lane. Checking on board with the race leader, though. Quite nice gap. Plenty of room there in front of him. A 1-second lead over Nick Baum. Can the O2 machine start reeling him in now with 20 laps to go? Remember that exactly 1 second gap, so we'll check him on board with them here later on. Hopefully we go green to green here. 20 drivers made the race start. Jeremiah Johnson out of the race. That's the only driver that is not going to finish. Now 1 second lead of Dylan Perry is going to vanish now as a 7th caution is going to wave here in the Mac Daddy show for the National Dirt Racing Association. That was our first single file restart. Everybody got spread out, but man, slide job city here. I know I've said that multiple times, but a lot of guys are parking it right on the front nose of other dirt late models, causing chaos out there. So what was the cause of the accident of the yellow? Here we go. Joshua and Ethan. These are the drivers we was on board with. That number 11 car. To the outside, the 12 car gets to the side of it. The 117 tries to stay off. Everybody just a chaos. One more time, check this action out. So back to line mode, back to race mode. This time by, the caution light should be out on the pace truck. We'll be back under green flag conditions. Cameron Ritter, 1 lap down, and he is being shown out of this race back in the 19th spot. Green flag in Bobby's hand. Bobby the flagman's hand, I should say. 20 laps to go. That's actually going to be 18 laps whenever we go back under green flag racing conditions. And here we go. This time by into turns 3 and 4. Dylan Perry steps on the loud pedal, single file restart. Dylan Perry was able to open up a 1 second gap over second place of Nick Baum when we was under green flag conditions there for about 15 laps. Will he be able to do it again? Nick Baum, though, trying to hold tight there to the back bumper, and he's doing a very good job of it, but both of those drivers running just about the exact same line. Dylan Perry about 1 lane higher, though, about half a car length higher than the O2 machine. Josh Fuller, he led the first 15, maybe even 17 laps. And Dylan Perry was able to get around him there on the high side. Josh Fuller started on the front row, qualified first, finished first there in his heat race. Can his machine come back now? As Nick Baum gets into the outside wall. So Josh Fuller move him up to P2, move Nick down to P3. And these cars, if he tap that outside wall, man, they absolutely stick to it. Brandon, he's up to P4, and James Miller rounding out the top 5 now. Working lap 36 of 50, 20 minutes and 15 seconds in the Smack Daddy show. 27 drivers in and in here tonight, only 20 cars got the right to start here in this Smack Daddy show. We've had 7 cautions. Can we go green to green? Lucas Ruark, he's up to P6. He's moved up 7 spots since the green flag has waved. Colson, he's moved up 8 spots. You have Carson Ruark back here in the 8th spot. He's moved up 4 spots. You have Robert, then you have Ethan all rounding out the top 10, and it's been a rat's nest back here in the middle part of the raceway the entire race. Closing up now, 12 laps to go. It's anybody's race here in the middle part. We are 3 wide into the apex of turns 3 and 4 as everybody wheels and deals. Now going down the front chute. Now they wheel and deal back and down into turns 1 and 2. It's a 2-lane groove here. The bottom side might be gone, but that middle side is doing a very, very good job of holding its pace. And then you can go on the outside, the Heinz Gary side, put that right rear tire right on the race cushion, right next to the outside wall, and just let her eat there, kid. And that's what Ethan is doing back there in the 10th spot. Here comes Dylan Hutchins. Now they're in that number 28 car, the 18 car. They're on the scoring tower, but as Ethan gets into the outside wall, the 28 machine of Dylan Hutchins is going to get around him, and there goes a 23 machine of Colson. Carson Ruark was way off the pace as well. Don't know if those guys had a little bit of contact or not, but a yellow flag is going to wave with only 8 laps to go as there's about 3 or 4 cars spun out there in turns 3 and 4. Ethan, Joshua, and Lane is going to be a couple of them. Definitely got the replay, and we'll go back and watch it. been showing red. He's into the outside wall. The guy there in front of him almost got hit. That driver gets turned, and everybody just absolutely wrecking. Some guy caught the quarter panel, and you have to get when the getting is good. And man, laps are winding down, and everybody trying to get every single inch of the racetrack that they possibly can get. Three cars are being showed out, and then Logan Romney is being shown back in 4 laps down. They're in that number 21 car. So 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th place is, I guess 18th, 19th, and 20th. The last 3 cars are out of this race. Logan is still out there on the racetrack, I do believe. So we may be throwing another caution flag here. I do not believe the field is set. We could be going green flag. Don't know. Here we go. Dylan Perry steps on the loud pedal, and we are going back under green flag racing conditions. As the sun sets here, the dirt track is Charlotte. Everyone is chasing the number 7 car, but I'm afraid to say, I don't think nobody has anything for Mr. Dylan Perry here at the dirt track of Charlotte. I think the race is on for the second spot, though. Nick Baum and Josh Fuller, those guys been battling out all the way from the halfway point. You have James Miller there in P4, and then back in the 5th place on back. It's anyone's guess. Throw a dart at the board, and whatever number it picks on, that's where that driver's going to finish. It's an absolute rat's nest back here. But Brandon Holtmere doing a very good job there in that number 2 car, in the all-green car. Robert Tucker, though, moving up 12 spots in the number 5 car, the number 17 there on his training pace. Robert Tucker tries to get underneath of Brandon now. Track getting a little bumpy, though, but ever since that those couple updates ago, he's done a very good job of keeping the speed bumps away as we work lap 47 of 50. Lucas Ruart, Carson Ruart, 7th and 8th. You have Colson back and Dylan Hutchins battling out for the 9th and 10th spot. Working lap 47 of 50, and the caution is going away. But once again, the caution back out for the 9th time here at the dirt track of Charlotte. Everybody having to restack and repack them. Actually, it's actually going to be a single file restart with only a couple laps to go, and this could get sketchy. We did only have 3 cars out. Let's double it up now. Now we have 6 cars out, with Brandon Weeks, Ethan, Logan, Brian, Cameron, and Jeremiah. Two laps to go. 25 minutes and 51 seconds into the Smack Daddy show. We've seen a lot of respect here in the A-Main Racing so far. I think we've seen a lot of give and take here. On those earlier heat races and the C and the B-Main, not much respect. And with only 2 laps to go, how much respect will these drivers give? That's going to be the question. Nick's just got to get a good start. He's got to get a good start there in the 2nd spot. One to keep Josh Fuller behind him, but if he's going to have a chance to win this thing, he's got to throw the Hail Mary slide job, is what I like to call it. If you're about 7 car lengths behind, just throw the slide job and hope for the best. Just don't check up. Here we go. Green flag this time by into turns 3 and 4. Dylan Perry, Nick Baum, Josh Fuller, top 3. Nick does not get a good restart. Dylan Perry gets away, and now Josh Fuller's looking down to the inside. Fuller down to the inside of Nick Baum. Will he be able to get alongside him here down the back chute? No, he doesn't. Nick pulls away down the back chute, but Josh Fuller back down into the tractor tires. James Miller winding up that dirt late model engine. Now he gets to the outside of Josh Fuller into turns 1 and 2. Everyone wheels and deals with 2 laps to go. Going to keep it on board here with with the top five because the race is on, all for the second spot that Nick Baum has. Side by side for the third spot. James Miller still to the outside. Josh Fuller down to the bottom side. White flag. Out of turn 2 and down the back chute for the final time. Into turns 3 and 4. Nick Baum buries that thing down to the middle side part of the raceway. James Miller lets that thing ease on the high side. And Miller gets the last and final podium spot here for the National Dirt Racing Association here for the here at the dirt track at Charlotte. And everybody did a very good job with those last 3 laps as everybody's taking each other out. Don't know if some guys are happy, some guys are not, but regardless. Checkered flag waves for Dylan Perry. Perry grabbed the lead about lap 15 and just did not look back whatsoever. We jump into the Discord page. We're trying to get an interview with the top 3 drivers. They do the good old iRacing photo shoot here. I believe we had 9 cautions. I think that's what I said last time. I believe it was 9 cautions, 28 minutes, and about 10 seconds was the total distance of the Smack Daddy show for the National Dirt Racing Association. 50 laps was a distance, and that's what we ran. And the guy that finished there in the 3rd spot is going to be James Miller. And Miller, man, you was in the top 5 about all race long, and then with about 3 laps to go, man, you was able to get that dirt late model next to the outside wall.
Yeah, man. There, about 10 to go, I started feeling a little bit of moisture brewing up there, and I was just trying to hold myself down and just wait. And there was about 3 to go. I started kind of push the issue, and it was just hooking up there, knocking the boards down.
From lap 1 to lap 50, how much did this track change?
Well, not really much, because when we started out, it was almost about all the transition that it was going to do, and it was just really keeping your line and keeping it steady and seeing who can come out on top.
During that warm-up session, did you tweak your setup at all for this slicked up racetrack?
Oh yeah, you always make a little changes here and there. If not, then sometimes you'll be fighting yourself, and then sometimes it also hurts you. But sometimes you gotta take those chances, and whenever you take them, it helps, like it done here tonight.
Well, man, 27 cars made the call here to the racetrack. Only 20 of them made the A main show, and you was able to finish there in the podium spot with a very stacked field. So congratulations, Mr. James Miller. You got any shout outs that you like to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank the team Reflex Motorsports and James Fraser there for running the sticks tonight and helping me out, and y'all guys for putting on the broadcast.
Very cool, man. Hopefully we'll see you next time with the National Dirt Racing Association.
Yes, sir. See y'all then.
Absolutely. James Miller coming home in that last and final podium spot. But the guy that's going to finish there in the 2nd spot is going to be Nick. And Nick, man, you got a rocket ship of a machine tonight. You was about top 5 about all race long. You got up to 2nd place with about, 20 laps to go or so. And man, that was about it.
Yeah, it was a blast. I didn't think I had that good of a car going into the race, and I was just able to make some moves, be patient, and before I knew it, I was up there in that top 3.
Man, you moved up 8 spots. They're in that O2 car, man. So an absolute rocket ship. You kind of running the middle side part of the racetrack. Looked like it seemed they're in the late part of the race.
Yeah, I was definitely on the boards up in 1 and 2, but 3 and 4, I was just kind of rolling through it, keeping consistent, and that's kind of what you got to do at Charlotte. So I was just glad I was able to work my way up there.
50 laps, man. A very long distance here for the with the dirt late models than what most leagues run, man. So congratulations here for this for the 2nd spot. You got any shout-outs that you'd like to give?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Slam Sim Sports, Mason Lobb, Ashton Briggs, Drake Troutman, Hagen Sorensen, Brent New, all them guys. They really help out a lot with setups and just get me where I need to be. And Hooker Harness, Klein's Brand Source, Lobb's Auto Service, they're great.
Very cool. Nick, congratulations there for the second spot, man, and we'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
Nick gonna come home there in that second spot, but the guy that's gonna win as trick-or-treaters are coming to my house now. Dylan Perry, man, you grabbed the lead there with about lap 15, man, and you grabbed it and did not look back.
Yeah, I started off on the wrong foot tonight. I qualified, I think, like 12th, and got lucky and was able to win that heat race. And I knew he's going to be hard to pass because he's pretty consistent. But once I got by him, I felt like I had a pretty good car to win it. I just had to keep hitting my marks and not step on it.
Late cautions were definitely waving, man. What was going through your mind, and did you have a game plan?
I mean, I had a little bit of game plan. I didn't want to see him, but as long as I could just hit my marks on those restarts, mainly just hitting my mark heading into one, I felt like I was going to make it pretty tough to pass me on those late race restarts.
Well, man, a dominating performance for you in that number 7 car. So, Dylan Perry, congratulations, bringing home the checkered flag here, the dirt track at Charlotte for the National Dirt Racing Association. You got any shout-outs that you'd like to give?
Yeah, I got to thank Andy over at Colray, Bender over at B&B Custom Baits, Brandon Combs at Combs Cuts, all the guys over at CBR. We've got Tater, Trent, Foskey, Chase, all the Codys, because we got multiple, Scott. I'm probably missing some of them, but just everybody that helps me week in and week out, they're tremendous. They're a lot of help. Just they may not know it, but they help me out more than they could ever know.
Very cool, man, and congratulations once again for the checker flag, and hopefully we'll see you next time.
Thank you. Hopefully I can come race the next one and run good.
Absolutely. Dylan Perry with the checker flag in hand here, the dirt track at Charlotte. Here's a final result up there on the race screen right here. Possibly there it is. Dylan Perry, Nick, and James Miller, top 3. That's going to be it. Thank you all for tuning in here at Wiscoval_TV. Next race, we'll keep it posted for the National Dirt Racing Association. It is not a weekly event, but if you guys like to join up, National Dirt Racing Association, send them a message. Tell them Wiscoval sent you, and hopefully there'll be enough pull to get you in. Until next time, everybody, please take care, stay safe, and we'll talk to you guys later.